Hello, everyone. How many of you have ever looked back at a relationship, whether friendship, romance, or even family, and realized, I should have walked away sooner? We've all been there. You give your time, your energy, your trust, only to realize too late that the person on the other side was taking more than they were giving. And the worst part, they weren't even subtle about it. They told you who they were through their demands, their expectations, their constant asking. But you ignored the red flags because you thought love meant sacrifice. You thought loyalty meant tolerating what you shouldn't. Let me tell you something today, and I need you to hear me. Love is not a blank check for exploitation. Love is not silence in the face of disrespect. Some people will come into your life not to build you, but to use you. And the scary thing, they won't hide it. They'll ask for what they want boldly, unapologetically, because they've learned that good people like you will give it to them. But today, that stops. Today, we're setting boundaries. Imagine your life is a garden. Every person you allow into your space is either planting seeds or pulling them up. Some people don't come to water your growth. They come to pluck your petals one by one until there's nothing left but a stem. And you know what happens to a flower without its petals? It loses its beauty, its purpose, its life. So let's talk about the 5 things certain people will ask of you. Things that sound innocent but are actually traps. If someone asks you for these, don't just walk away. Run. The first thing you must never give anyone, your peace. They'll say it in different ways. I just need you to listen to me vent again. You're the only one who understands me. If you really cared, you put up with my chaos. And before you know it, their storms become your weather forecast. Their drama becomes your daily news. But here's the truth. You are not someone else's emotional dumpster. You were not designed to carry burdens that aren't yours. The Bible says, cast your cares on the Lord, on Peter 5:7. Not cast your cares on the nearest kind-hearted person. I've watched too many people, especially women, crumble under the weight of other people's emotional baggage. They think, if I don't help, who will? But what happens when you need help? Where are they then? Start today by protecting your peace like your life depends on it. Because it does. When someone tries to hand you their chaos, ask yourself, is this mine to carry? If the answer is no, hand it right back. The second thing, your silence. They'll say, don't tell anyone what I did. We don't need to involve other people. Keep this between us. And if you're a loyal person, you'll obey. But here's what they're really saying. Let me keep doing wrong in the dark. Darkness is where deception grows. Anything that can't survive the light isn't worth protecting. If someone is asking you to hide their actions, it's not because they value privacy. It's because they know their behavior won't stand scrutiny. Think about it. Healthy relationships don't require secrecy. They don't demand your silence. They thrive in honesty, in accountability. So if someone is whispering, just don't say anything. That's not a friend. That's a co-conspirator. Like a tree planted by rivers of water, a strong life is rooted in truth. Don't let anyone uproot you with lies. Have you ever met someone who made you feel like you owed them something just because they were in your life? It's a strange thing, isn't it? You didn't sign a contract. You didn't make a blood covenant. Yet somehow they act like your time, your energy, even your loyalty is something they're entitled to. And the moment you hesitate, they look at you like you're the one who changed. But let me tell you what's really happening. Some people don't love you. They love what you do for them. And the moment you stop doing it, they'll either guilt trip you or disappear. So let's keep going. Because I need you to recognize these demands before they drain you dry. The third thing you must never give anyone, your self-worth. They'll ask for it in subtle ways. Why can't you be more like, hey, someone else? You're too sensitive. I'm just being honest. And with every little dig, every backhanded compliment, you start shrinking. You begin to question yourself. Maybe I am too much. Maybe I should change. But here's the truth. Anyone who makes you feel like you need to be less so they can be more doesn't deserve to be in your life. You are not a custom-made product. You are not an adjustable item on a menu. You are a person fearfully and wonderfully made. And if someone can't handle all that comes with you, they don't get a say in how you're packaged. Think of your worth like a crown. You wouldn't let just anybody try it on, would you? So why let someone else's opinion determine its value? Start today by recognizing the difference between constructive criticism and constant criticism. One helps you grow, the other just makes you small. The fourth thing, your future. Oh, they won't say it outright. They'll frame it as support. Just help me get back on my feet. If you love me, you'll wait for me. I'll change. Just stick with me a little longer. But here's what they're really asking. Let me borrow the life you could be building for yourself. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day and realize you spent years pouring into someone who was never going to fill your cup in return. Potential is not a promise. Just because someone could be great doesn't mean they will be. And you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. The Bible says, do not be misled, bad company corrupts good character. A 1 Corinthians 15:3 day, that doesn't just mean obviously bad people. It also means people who aren't going anywhere and want you to stay stuck with them. So if someone is asking you to put their dreams before your destiny, that's not love. That's a hostage situation. Tell me this, how many times have you convinced yourself that if you just give one more chance, things will change? We've all played that dangerous game. We ignore the patterns because we're addicted to potential. We stay in draining relationships because walking away feels like failure. But here's what I need you to understand. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is leave the table when respect is no longer being served. So let's go deeper, because the fifth thing people will ask for is the most dangerous of all. The fifth thing you must never give anyone, your boundaries. They'll test them slowly at first, just this once. You know I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. After all I've done for you. And each time you bend, they push further until one day you realize they've bulldozed straight through every line you ever drew. But here's the truth. A relationship without boundaries is like a house without walls. Everything gets in and nothing stays sacred. I've watched too many kind people become shadows of themselves because they kept saying yes when their spirit was screaming no. They confused sacrifice with love, access with intimacy. But let me tell you something love honors, love protects. Love does not demand what it should appreciate. Think of your boundaries like the banks of a river. Without them, the water floods everywhere and nourishes nothing. But with them, life grows. Purpose flows. Everything finds its right place. Start today by speaking your no without apology. Watch how quickly some people disappear when they realize they can't take what isn't offered. Now let me tell you why this matters more than you think. This isn't just about avoiding toxic people. It's about becoming the kind of person toxic people avoid. When you stop feeding vampires, they stop coming to your door. When you stop being available for dysfunction, dysfunction finds someone else to bother. Your circle should want you whole, not broken. They should celebrate your light, not ask you to dim it so they can shine. They should add to your life, not subtract from it. The Proverbs say, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:2-3. That's not just poetry, it's survival. Because every time you let someone take what they shouldn't, you're not just giving away a moment. You're giving away pieces of your future. So what happens when you finally decide to stop giving what should never be taken? At first, it feels like loss, like empty spaces where certain people used to be. But then something miraculous happens. Your spirit begins to breathe again. Your joy starts coming home. And one morning you wake up realizing the peace in your life isn't despite their absence, but because of it. This isn't about cutting people off. It's about cutting weights off, because some relationships aren't bridges to your destiny. They're anchors to your past. Let me tell you how to spot the difference. The people who deserve access to you will never make you choose between their comfort and your growth. They won't ask you to shrink, to silence yourself, to abandon your boundaries. They'll celebrate the God in you, not try to compete with Him. I need you to understand every no you say to the wrong people is a yes to yourself. Every time you refuse to let someone exploit your kindness, you make room for the ones who honor it. Think of your life like a sacred garden. You get to decide who receives seeds from you, who gets your time, your energy, your love. And if someone keeps trampling your flowers, build a fence, not to be cruel, but to preserve what's holy. Now, here's your assignment 1. Take inventory. Look at your inner circle who constantly asks for these 5 things, who drains more than they pour. 2, reset expectations. You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. Start fresh today. 3, trust the process. When you remove what doesn't belong, you make space for what does. This won't be easy. Some will call you selfish. Others will guilt trip you. But remember, Jesus loved everybody, but he didn't entrust himself to everybody. John 2:24. Even the Son of God had discernment. Your new life starts today. From this moment forward, decide no more trading your peace for their chaos. No more exchanging your worth for their approval. No more mortgaging your future for their potential. The right people will find you, the ones who love you for you, not for what you can do. The ones who see your heart as a treasure, not a resource. So choose freedom, choose wholeness, choose you. Because the best relationships aren't built on what you can give. They're built on mutual honor. And that's worth waiting for. Amen.